All right, welcome back to DPL. My next guest played as a quarterback in the NFL for 16 seasons, including a couple seasons with the Dallas Cowboys as well, piling up 169 touchdown passes and nearly 30,000 yards in passing. He now coaches high school down the road in Waxahachie. Please welcome the great Jon Kitna to Drew Pearson Live. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right. You even brought a crowd here. When you bring quarterbacks in here, we bring people, man.
Right, I'm sure.
Get a live audience as well. Well, thank you for joining us. I know your schedule's busy since you've moved down here from Washington to take the head coaching job at Waxahachie. You've been in Washington all your life. You went to high school there at Tacoma High School. You're a quarterback there. You're Central Washington. Drafted by Seattle Seahawks, spent some time there before moving on to other places in the NFL, including the Dallas Cowboys. Why the move from Washington back to Texas to coach high school football? Yeah,
I mean, the shortest answer I can give you with that is, you know, I measure my success and my, you know, by the impact that I have. And we were able to have a great impact where we were at in Washington for the 3 years that we coached there. I knew I wanted to be a coach. I know I want to, you know, have an effect on other people's lives. I feel like there's not many things out there in the world that give you that kind of platform in terms of coaching and being able to character train and develop young men. And we got to a point where we were at back home that we just couldn't sustain it. You know, as a coach, you're only about, you know, the assistants that are around you. And I could only pay 4 assistant coaches $4,000 a year, and that just wasn't going. They weren't going to be able to sustain that long term. And being able to come down here in a place like Waxahachie that has the infrastructure and the support in place, that understands the kind of program we're trying to run, that it's a comprehensive program that trains young men from the inside out. You know, it was the perfect match and the perfect fit.
Yeah, and the opportunity presented itself because the original coach before you resigned. Right. And he's athletic director as well. He resigned, so that opened up the door for you, an opportunity for you to come
and it was
down
unfortunate.
Here and
coach.
It was
unfortunate for him. He ran into some, you know, he's a very successful coach down there, had a long tenure, and he ran into some health problems that, you know, forced his hand that way. But I got a lot of respect for him and the staff that was there. But we're excited to be here.
Now, when you joined the NFL, was your ambition then to end up as a coach after your playing days were over?
Yeah, I always knew I was going to coach. And then, you know, you get in the NFL and a lot of opportunities come your way. You explore those things. But for me, this is what I want to do. I want to coach young men and have the impact that my coaches had on me, especially at a young age. And so there was times that it wavered, but I don't really feel like we ever left that dream.
Yeah. Well, how was the family? Were they receptive to the move? Your wife, Jenny, and you got a son, Jordan, that's a pretty good quarterback himself. He comes along with this as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was hardest on him. He's leaving, going into his senior year. And there's a lot of kids that he grew up with there the last 3 years, and they were a brotherhood. And they had a really tight bond together. But quite honestly, when the opportunity came up, my daughter was picking out houses the day we mentioned that this might be an opportunity. And so the kids were all in on it, and they haven't wavered since. Nice, nice. And if they're all in, then that makes it a little easier for the transition as well. Sure. Now, your son Jordan, you mentioned he is a quarterback. Aspirations to go on to college, heavily recruited, I'm sure. Had a great junior season up there in Tacoma. Yeah, you know, the recruiting has been a little bit slow, but you know, that's kind of how it is when you're in that northwest corner of the country. Not many people get up there to recruit that area. And so, you know, it may pick up this spring. We'll see. He's got a great attitude about it. He's very mature. He wants to play in college. He wants to play in the pros. He has a desire to do all those things, and he works his tail off to do it. But he also understands a lot of that's outside of his control. And so we think things are going to pick up this spring. A lot of people are interested in him. A lot of people contact him. And we'll see what happens this spring. But the great thing is he just enjoys playing the game like crazy. Right on. Now, your time with the Dallas Cowboys is what brought you to Texas in the first place, to give you a flavor for what's happening around here. How was that experience, being part of the Dallas Cowboys during your time? I mean, it was great for me. In the 3 places I was at beforehand, in Seattle, the majority of the time I was there, they were going through an ownership change. Those are hard in the NFL. Went to Cincinnati, and they were kind of making a philosophical change, and I felt like I was proud to be a part of that. And then in Detroit, there were some rocky times, and I enjoyed it. I love Coach Martz and got to meet some great people. But then coming here to Dallas and being able to be with Jerry Jones and that staff that was there, and you felt like it was a top-notch type of thing, and that the number one focus is trying to win football games, and that was fun to be around. Right
on. Now they finished 12-4, won a playoff game. Did you see that coming for that Cowboy team last season?
Well, definitely. I don't think anybody saw that their guard was going to be as good as he was in his rookie year.
Martin.
He made a tremendous difference, but they did the right thing in building that thing from the inside out in terms of the offensive line. And I think, Rob Marinelli is a tremendous coach. I played for him in Detroit. I mean, he did a great job with that defense last year. And they've always been a talented football team skill-wise. But when that offensive line plays like that, the NFL has been going a long time. The best offensive lines typically go a long ways in this league.
Right on. Well, you see that offensive line makes you want to come out of retirement and get some of that, huh?
I don't know. One hit, it would be over, I think.
I hear you. Well, your relationship with Tony Romo, was that good?
Great relationship. Nice. Somebody that we still, stay in contact from time to time. And when I accepted the job, he was one of the first people to text me and say, congratulations, glad you're back.
Right on.
And all stuff. So, yeah, we stay in touch and got a lot of respect for him.
Well, we're glad you're back in Texas. You left here as a Cowboy, and you come back as an Indian.
That's right.
A Waxahachie Indian.
That's right.
So you got it all covered for Texas.
Right. That's
Cowboys
right.
and Indians. Jon Kitna, y'all, part of Drew Pearson Live. Appreciate you being with us, Jon.
Thanks
Good
for
stuff,
having me.
man. Thank you. Stay tuned for more of Drew Pearson Live, because we'll be right back after this.